Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. First, I'd like to thank Sister Suzette for sharing this video with me, which is a topic that we talk about often on this channel, which is interracial marriage and dating, and also on the Watchman Reports channel where we discuss marriage in general. Okay, I'm going to be talking about this video clip because I think it's something very important that needs to be discussed, because there is an attack on black relationships and a lot of people are not aware of it because they are being drawn into this vortex. Okay, first I'm going to go ahead and roll the video clip and then I will be right back.
Is marriage for white people? That's the question being asked by an author of a new book. Is marriage for white people? How the African-American marriage decline affects everyone. It's got a lot of people talking right now. Stanford law professor Ralph Richard Banks says it's time for black women to, this is a quote, give up the good fight on marrying a black man. Here he is.
The way I think of that is that women have been asked to carry a great load. Black women shoulder a lot of the burden, in short, of black men's struggles. And I am asking women to put the burden down. Many women think that they're attracted to black men. They are attracted to black men. But attraction itself is complicated. And one of the things that I discovered in the course of writing this book is that there's a whole host of fears and desires and anxieties that animate black women's attraction to black men.
Okay, Banks recently wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal and said that 70% of black women aren't married. That's roughly true. Okay, so is it time for single, educated, and working black women to just forget the notion of marrying a black man and look outside their race? A new Gallup poll shows more and more people are receptive to the idea of interracial marriage. In 1968, the numbers were quite low for whites approving of interracial marriage. This is a Gallup poll from USA Today, but today those numbers skyrocketed for both blacks and whites. So does the author have a point? Is the black marriage nearly obsolete? Is the idea just for white people? I have a black couple here who says, hello, I'm right here. Joining us more to talk about this is Lamar and Ronnie Tyler, bloggers for Black and Married with Kids. All right, Tyler, so I guess my first question is, what is your reaction to what you have just heard? A lot of people have been talking about this.
I just think the book is dangerous, and it's sending a dangerous message.
Dangerous?
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely think it is just perpetuating all of the negative stereotypes that are out there. And now is the time for black people to come together and to work together, not to look outside of our community for the answers.
Dangerous how so? And I want you to answer this because he seems to be putting a lot of negativity out there on black men.
Sure. Well, I think what he's done is created a perfect mechanism to sell books, but not so much to help African-American women.
All right.
And I think, he's portraying this like this is some type of help tool for them, but not at all. I think anytime when you say that one entire group of people, specifically based on race, is bad and another group is good, then it doesn't make any sense at all. It's not helping anybody. Instead, the conversation should be, if there are problems in the African-American community, how can we uplift the community? What can we do to show them that marriage is positive, to show them that parenting is positive and where it's at? Instead of, making notions like these that basically just get you on TV, in the media all the time and allow you to sell books.
Well, because some of the numbers that he put out there are true. A white woman is twice as likely to get married as a black woman. Some of what he is saying is true, is what you take exception to, what you say are solutions that aren't actually solutions. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Solutions that are not actually solutions. So if it's true, let's get down to why it's true and bring forth real solutions for the black community.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think interracial dating is fine. I think who you fall in love with is who you fall in love with. But again, when you say this group of people, in this particular instance, which is black men, are bad and you shouldn't be with them. And I think the craziest thing about all of this is the fact that he's married to a black woman. So what if she took his own advice? They wouldn't be married now.
So what you're saying is, okay, let me make sure I'm clear. He's saying, look outside of your race because there's a problem with your race, as opposed to just be with whoever you choose to be with, regardless of what their race is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a two-part thing. It's part of it is that, and part of it is this thing about the black man being so bad, just perpetuating these continual stereotypes that we've had now for generations and generations. And the problem becomes when you have people in communities that don't see marriage every day, that don't see those positive images of marriage portrayed, they start to believe things like this. When they see books and they see movies and they see different things, something that marriage is for white people, they start to actually get that into their conscience, and then that passes down from generation to generation.
Because there are plenty of positive images of black marriages out there. I mean, we've got the Obamas. I mean,
Exactly.
there's Will and Jada. If you don't believe all that tabloid mess
Sure.
is out there.
Right.
An interracial couple. There's Iman and David Bowie. There's lots of positive images out there if you choose to see them.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're doing with our website, trying to actually build upon those positive images. Because if you don't see it, then maybe you don't think it's possible to be that. And so it's very important to have those images.
Yeah, and it's just an example. We do documentaries. In our second documentary, You Saved Me, 8 couples, African-American couples from newlywed over 50 years. We premiered it in D.C., sold out over 540 seats in advance of the screening. They had to put up folding chairs down the aisle, I like to say, like church on Easter Sunday. And these people, we're not Spike Lee and Tanya Lewis Lee. They didn't know us by name recognition, but that's how hungry in our community we are for positive.
Okay, as you see from the video clip, there is a Stanford law professor. As a matter of fact, it's a black Stanford law professor who is basically telling black women to give up the fight on marrying a black man. He's basically saying throw in the towel, hang it up, look elsewhere. Now, I feel that that is a very dangerous thing to advocate for. Now, it's one thing to talk about the statistics and to show all of the different things that are happening in the black marriage circle, okay? Things that are trying to prevent us from coming together and all of the problems surrounding it. It's one thing to talk about that, but it's another thing to basically tell black women to give it up. Don't even consider it. Just get it out of your mind. Look elsewhere. That is a very dangerous thing to do. Now, many of you who come on this channel, you don't understand everything about a righteous marriage. So therefore, when I speak against interracial marriage, you don't understand everything that is involved in what I'm talking about, okay? At one time, I didn't necessarily see a problem with interracial marriage and dating, okay? I was a Christian at the time, so I want you to understand where I'm coming from when I say this. At one time, I didn't. For me, it was just something in me that I just didn't feel it was something I wanted, okay? It was just something about it. I can only explain it from the point of view that I feel like the Most High had put his law in me. You see, and I'm not saying that I never looked at any white man and thought that he thought he wasn't attractive, or let me rephrase that. I have seen white men that I thought were attractive, but I have never been attracted to them to the point of wanting to date them, marry them, have children with them, anything of the sort. Okay, and again, I was a Christian at the time, so there was definitely no racism involved in my feelings. It was just something I felt wasn't right. Although I didn't necessarily, although I didn't necessarily frown on it as it relates to other people, because we have known many interracial families coming up in the Christian church. People that we've known personally, people that we've seen in various congregations, and it just wasn't something that I thought was wrong per se. I just didn't feel that it was right for me. And so I've always had a very healthy, loving attraction towards black men. I'm gonna just say this right now, it's just something about them. Okay, I love black men. Okay, I don't like some of the mess that we are seeing, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. I love black men, and that's why I am married to one. I love my sugar, because now I know what's going on. There is a very, very, very tight, close, loving relationship that we have with our Creator. Something that other nations, I believe they know. They know that we are the seed the chosen seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They know this. And so this is why the scripture said that we would be hated of all nations. And so when I see anyone, whether it's a black man, a black woman, white people, I don't care who they are, when I see anyone, and let me include Asians in that too, because someone pointed out, they say, you mostly focus on black and white. Our men should be discouraged from marrying women of all nations, okay? And I have talked about this many times. Some of you may be new to my channel. I have over, let me see how many videos. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. As a matter of fact, wow, I have over 1,400 videos on my channel. So some of you are new. You should go back and watch the archives, because I have talked about this thing for years. I didn't even realize I had that many videos on there. In all honesty, I thought that I was somewhere around maybe 11 or 1,200. I didn't realize that I had 1,400 videos on the channel. But anyway, when I speak about these things, there was a poll that basically showed that the fastest growing demographic of relationships is between white women and black men. So I focus on that a lot. Although I have talked about them marrying Mexicans and Latinos and Asians and what they call so-called Native American, but they are not really the true natives. But this push and this narrative that black women need to give up the fight, that is very dangerous. I agree with the couple that appeared in the video clip that we should not be putting that kind of stuff out there, especially other black people. We should not do that. What we need to do is get to the bottom of the problem. What is it that is dividing us and keeping us apart? What is causing this rift in the black relationship between our men and our women? I'm getting a little tongue-tied this morning, family. Forgive me, but I must carry on. This is a very, very important topic to me, because I have sons and daughters. I want my sons to marry melanated women, and I want my daughters to marry melanated men, and I want them to love the Most High, okay? I will never push my children in that direction. And I've told them, if they go in that direction, if they decide on their own that they are going to stray away from the commandments of the Most High Yah, they are on their own. Because as for me and my house, we will serve Yah. We will not make excuses for breaking His commandments. We will not justify breaking His commandments. If you do it, you're on your own. Okay, you are on your own. You know what's at stake, because we know what the word says. For those of you who don't read the Bible, don't believe in the Bible, you don't even need the Bible to see that there is something sinister working that is trying to white us out and just wipe us off of the face of the planet. You don't even see that. When you look at, say, Michael Jackson, for instance, or Jermaine Jackson, they are whiting themselves out. When you look at Jermaine Jackson's wife, and then his children and his grandchildren, they don't look like Jacksons anymore. So the legacy of the Jackson family is being whited out. And any so-called black person who is okay with that, you are out of your mind. We are the only people on the planet who wants to wipe our own selves out. You have people using hatred, of course, trying to say, look, we're going to keep our bloodlines pure. And they think that means that they have to hate others. You don't have to hate others to want to keep your bloodline pure. Now, I know that we've already been infiltrated, but the way back is to go black, right? But most of our people, they don't even care about that stuff. They say, look, if I want to marry a white woman or an Asian woman or a Latino woman, that's my business. Yes, it is your business, but at the end of the day, you are wiping your own ass out. That's what you're doing. And our people just don't get it. They don't care. They want to use all of these other earthly and secular examples as to why they want to do this. But the Most High, He has given a biblical mandate and a judgment. See, that's another part of it. You don't understand that there is a judgment attached to this. There is a judgment attached to this. And this is why we are seeing more and more where our women are going into these relationships with these men of other nations, white men in particular. And it's not turning out the way that they'd hoped they would turn out. Some of these men, they get what they want, they get in your pants, and after they're done, as in the case of the young woman who was having an affair with a Mississippi cop, she was disposable to him. Her life wasn't worth anything to him. If you were actually to study the history of our people and our connection to the Most High, you would understand why it's very dangerous to not only date outside of your marriage, outside of your race, or marry outside of your race, but it's also very dangerous to push the whole idea that it's okay and this is something we should do. When I hear an educated man telling black women to give it up, I just don't know what to say to that. Other than the fact that it is utterly ridiculous. It is ridiculous to put that kind of narrative out there, because we need to stick together, family. We need to figure out what these demons and spirits are that's tearing us apart, and that's where the fight is right there. We need to fight these spirits and this sorcery and these demons that's trying to further divide black men and women. That's what we need to do. Figure it out and fix it. First of all, we need to fortify that which we have. And those things that have fallen off, we need to fix those things and make it impenetrable. Don't allow sex and money and all these things to sway your mind towards something that is evil, something that will bring judgment. That is what our people are doing. And as long as I have blood running warm in my veins, I will speak out against it, because I want to see my people together. I want to see black men and women loving each other. I don't care who is saying what. I'm sorry. We cannot give up on our people. We cannot. We got to pray our way, fast our way. Whatever it is we must do, that is what we must do to continue this fight and to eliminate this spirit that has attached itself to trying to destroy our lineage. Okay, family, with that, I will say shalom. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.